Hi guys, Kyle from Gravirty to PDF again here. So one of the most common questions about the plugin is getting it set up and configured and going through the process of just getting everything sort of configured to work. So I have a brand new WordPress install here. We're right at the admin page and we're going to go through the wizard and I'm going to install Gravirty Forms and Gravirty to PDF. We're going to go through and build a really simple mapping and merge so we can demonstrate sort of the entire process here from the very beginning. So let's get started here. I'm going to start the wizard and we're going to go through this. We're going to be in the we'll be in business, so we'll just call this our Gravirty test. This is just our test site here, and we don't want to do any of that. We're just going to skip that, and we're going to use the we'll just use a default theme here. Let's see here. I'll just use this theme and select it. So WordPress is finishing the install here, and the next step is going to be to actually install Gravirty Forms itself and get that activated. So I'm going to pause this for a second here while this continues the install, and we'll resume this right where we're installing Gravirty Forms. Okay, so the site loaded some test content here, and this is just a basic WordPress install. So we're going to go ahead and navigate over to the admin page itself and continue on here. So you'll see there's really nothing on this. I don't even know what that theme is. Let's check it out and see what we got here. A theme called Activation. So this is just a default theme loaded from WordPress. The 2016 here is like the real default theme. So we've got a couple plugins installed here by default. I believe these are come with the theme, or maybe this is something that came with GoDaddy itself. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna eliminate a couple of this stuff because I don't want it. I don't need it. So I'm going to deactivate these things, and then just on our test site here, I'm just going to get rid of all these things that we don't need. This is not required by any means. I like to clean things up as I go. Okay, so let's take a look at our site. It looks like it also installed some sample content and pages, so we'll have to work with that. So the next thing we need to do here to get Gravirty to PDF working is we need to actually add a new plugin, and the plugin we need to add is our Gravirty Forms. So again, I'm going to pause this and get Gravirty Forms ready to go. Okay, so I selected our Gravirty Forms file and I hit install now. So if you don't have a copy of Gravirty Forms, head on over to gravityforms.com by Rocket Genius. You can get their plugin, which is an amazing plugin, and you can start to build forms using Gravirty Forms, and then make PDFs using Gravirty to PDF. So once we've uploaded Gravirty Forms, we need to activate it, and now I have Gravirty Forms installed. And once we do that, we need to actually add the license key. So I'm going to pause it, enter my license key, and hit next. Okay, I got my license key installed here, and then Gravirty Forms will just walk you through the next steps here. So I'm going to enable that. I'm in the US. No conflict mode. We can leave that off. Toolbar menu will add a toolbar menu up here. That's a preference thing. I don't really like it, so I'm going to turn that off. And the next step we have, we could create a form. So I'm just going to test this out and create a test form. And to create our test form, I'm going to use a single line of text. I'm just going to call this a name. And I'm going to build this a little backwards from my other demos. I'm going to build the form first, and then I'm going to go ahead and we'll build a PDF to match our form. So I'm going to use our name, and we'll do email address. So we have our email address, and then we will also use a paragraph text. So we're just going to make a basic form, and let's say message. And actually, let's add one more thing, and we'll do this in our demo here just to sort of show this again how this works. And we're going to do a checkbox. And actually, let's do a radio button instead, because this will allow us to choose one option only. So we're going to say, do you like our plugin? And our first choice is going to be yes, and our second choice is going to be no, and we'll remove our third choice. And that's it for our form. And we will update this form. And the next step in our process is going to be uploading and installing Gravirty to PDF. And to do that for our demo here, we're just going to go to our the plugin menu from WordPress, and we're going to search for Gravirty to PDF, and we will install the free version of the plugin. And then we will activate the plugin. So that's it. We can refresh this, and now we have our Gravirty to PDF plugin here. And again, this is just a base WordPress install, and in just a few minutes here, we've installed Gravirty Forms and we've installed Gravirty to PDF. So let's go down to our system check and make sure everything passes, and the system is passing. So we know we can communicate with the PDF TK library, which is on our servers, and we know that we have PHP 5.6 or greater installed on our server, and the plugin can write to the temporary path. So if this all passes, we know that we can create merges and we can make PDFs with Gravirty Forms now. So we don't have any merges yet, but we did make our form. So we have our test form. So the next step in our process is going to be, let's make a new PDF. So let's continue on and we'll do that. Okay, so when I'm making forms or PDFs, I like to start with a Word document. Now there are many ways to create PDFs. I mean, you can make them however you want. As long as you are creating a form fill PDF, it really doesn't matter. But I like to start with a Word document, and we'll go through this as a really simple one here. And we created on our site a simple form already, and let's go back to our form so we can use this as a guide. And we want to collect a name, an email address, a message, and a radio button. So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to say name, and then we're going to do our email. And I like to do underscores in my Word document. And the reason for that is Adobe Acrobat Pro will automatically detect those as fields. And then we don't have to actually build them by hand. So then we have a message. So we'll just make that a little longer. And what we'll do is we'll convert this into a multi-line message in Acrobat itself. And then we say, leave some space. Do you like our plugin? And then we will have a yes and a no. And let's get those to line up. I actually want them back. Well, just there. That's a little better. Okay, so the next step in our Word document, this is just a really simple form, but you can make as complicated of a form as you want, and we're just trying to demonstrate that here in this brief video. So next step is save this as a Adobe PDF, and I will save this as just our name. And what happens here is Acrobat will open our document. And what we need to do with our document is turn this into a PDF form. And the way we do that is from the home, you select Tools, and we will prepare our form. And we want to use the file selected. And as you can see, it identified our name and email field and our message field. And then what we want to do is we want to go to Properties on our message field, and we want to change the options here to a multi-line. And this is what will allow us to do multi-line text for our message. So if we don't want that line running through our message, the way to remove that would be come back to editing our PDF, and then we can select this line and simply delete it. And then we can move our, we go back to our form, and we can move this back down, sort of align that, and we can drag this as big as we want now. And now this whole thing can be filled with text. So now we've created a name, an email, and a message. The last thing we need to do is create a radio group, yes and no, two options to select which option they choose for our radio group. So we're going to create a radio group, and we're going to use the radio field over here to create a new field, and we're going to select yes here, and you can name this group anything you want as long as the group name contains all of your options. So we could have 1, or we could have 5, or we could have 20 options here, as long as they all contain the same group name. So we're just going to call this like our plugin. So that's the name of our group, and we're going to call our choice yes. And the way I really like to do this for radio buttons and really for checkboxes also is I like to copy them and then paste them. So what I did is just used keyboard shortcuts there, and I used Control-C, Control-V, and what you'll see is now I have two options, but the radio buttons automatically become part of the group. So now I can just right click this, go to rename it, and I can just type that as no. And this really ensures that I've made those all part of the same group. It's just a trick I've picked up along the way from making a lot of forms over the years, especially for complicated forms. So the last thing I want to do here is select the two options, and then I'm going to right click these, and I'm going to align them left. And that just makes this thing clean. So now these radio buttons are aligned to the left end. So that's it for our form. We've just created our form, and we've created our PDF form. So the last thing to do here is we're going to do the last thing to do here on our form is we just need to save it. So I'm going to save our form. I've got it saving to my documents. Save as name. Replace the existing. That's fine because this is just name. So I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to go back to our WordPress install that we just set up. So the goal here is to collect these entries from our Gravirty form and get those fields onto the PDF. So we're going to head over to Gravirty to PDF, and we're using the free version here, right available from the store. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a new merge. And I'm going to call this merge name just because, that's what we named our PDF. And I'm just going to call that name. And then I'm going to upload our file. I'm going to navigate over to our where we saved the file on the computer. And I'm going to just drag it in there, and it'll upload the document. Okay, so once we've uploaded that document, we can just say use this media, and it'll upload the file. So what happened there is the plugin read the PDF document, and then you have to select the form you want to use. Well, in our test instance here, we only created one form, so we only have one form to select. So then the plugin will read the fields on the form. So the last step in this process is mapping our field from our Gravirty form to our PDF fields. So all you got to do is select the name and add a new row. So then we say email, add a new row. Message, over to message, add a new. So it's important to know here and understand how radio buttons work. So we have our group created on our form. We have two options to do. We have to map both the yes and the no answer. So we're going to take the yes answer and we're going to map it to the yes answer. And then we're going to take the no answer and map it to the no answer. And then last step in this is choose how do we want to deliver this once it's been completed. Well, we want to add a confirmation page download, which means we need to add this shortcode to the confirmation page of our Gravirty form. So I'm going to copy the shortcode and I'm going to save the merge. So this merge is completely done. The only step left to do this to get the entries from our Gravirty form onto our PDF document is go back to our form that we created and we want to edit the confirmation. So to edit the confirmation, we can say, thanks for contacting us. And we could say, okay, well, we want to put all fields submitted on this form. And then let's go back down a little bit and say, download your PDF here and put the shortcode on the confirmation page. So if we save this confirmation page, we should be set. So the last thing we got to do here to test this thing out, and I've just been building this as we go here, about 16 minutes start to finish, including installing the plugins and WordPress. We're going to preview this in a new window. And I'm just going to say, okay, Kyle, and I'm going to say test just test at gravirty2pdf.com. Doesn't matter because we're not going to do an email delivery now, so this is just a fake email address. And then we're going to put in some random text, and I'm going to open up another browser window, and we'll copy some text as well. So we can really just take something truly random here. Okay, so that's the first thing that Google said is template text. So that's what we're putting in. And then, do you like our plugin? Yes. So what we're going to do here is we're going to submit this, and we should have a link right here to download our PDF. So we're going to copy that or click the link, and we should open our PDF, and there you go. This is our populated PDF document from start to finish, installing the plugin, creating a PDF document, creating the Gravirty form, and building this out. So I appreciate you guys watching this sample video. Check out our plugin. I'm going to make some more videos here. We have I have a list of requests of things that people really want to see. So, subscribe to our channel so hopefully you can learn something about advanced form creation and PDF creation.